Deadpool movie review. Let's check it out. Hey guys, what's up? This is Jesse here with JLSComics. I'm going to do today a little vlog / review style video. I'm going to go see Deadpool. I am super excited about this. So I've been waiting for this for years actually, before the test footage came out, when they were like hemming and hawing about should we make a movie, shouldn't we, is there a script? My friend and I, and if you're watching this, Claude, fist bump to you, on the out chance you're watching this, we actually you worked with me for a while, and we made a little petition online just for fun once, and that was a few years back. So I've been following this and waiting for this movie forever, and it's finally here. I'm going to see it, and I'm really excited. So stay tuned. I'll tell you what I thought when it's done. All right. Jesse here with JLSComics. Welcome back to another video. This is going to be my review for Deadpool. I just saw that today, and let me tell you, it was awesome. Everything I could have wanted or hoped for in a movie, and it definitely, Ryan Reynolds and Fox, for that matter, redeemed themselves for that fiasco that we saw in Wolverine Origins, you know, with the mouth sewn shut and everything. Please never do that again. So this movie, you know, when I'm thinking of a Deadpool movie, I want lots of violence, lots of fighting with the swords and the guns. Check, got that. The humor, the toilet humor, really. The Deadpool humor, let's call it. Check. Meta humor. Check. It was just all around what, if I was gonna make a Deadpool movie, the ideal movie, this would have been it. It was Tim Miller, first time on it, and I could tell, you know, with the R rating, and let me tell you, it wasn't just like a soft R, you know, just we had a couple things here, so let's make it an R just to be safe. It was a hard R, and it definitely earned that rating. There was a lot of jokes and a lot of violence in there, you know, like punting somebody's head into somebody else's head after he cut it off. Some of those scenes, you know, were really funny. And you know, have you ever seen somebody get really hurt and break their hands and their leg, and you're still like freaking laughing out loud? It's hysterical. Well, you know what, if you haven't, go see Deadpool and you'll get to see that. So good things, you know, there was some really good cameos. Somebody who's in a lot of other movies. This was probably one of my favorites of their cameos. There was a couple others as well. Deadpool, Wade Wilson, has a love interest in the movie, and she really holds up to it. You know, that is kind of carried throughout as one of the themes. It's a love story and a revenge movie, essentially. The love story, it's carried throughout, and you know, they weren't two-dimensional per se. You know, it could have been developed a bit more, but you know, that would have come with a longer story, or maybe we'll get more of that in the future. So I kind of left that, but it made me care about these two characters, and you know, seeing their dynamic together, it made it feel like, okay, this is somebody that Deadpool loves, he should be with, and worth fighting for. So I'm gonna root for them, and that's what happened. If I had to pick a couple weak points, I would pick two things. First would be Ajax. Great character, great villain. Ed Skrein did a fantastic job acting. However, and maybe you guys can help me out here, his power is that he doesn't feel pain. He doesn't really feel much of anything. Now, to me, that seems like a good defensive power. Not necessarily, and you know, it worked, but not necessarily an offensive power. So in that regard, it wasn't too much of like a whoa type of villain. And maybe I'm just kind of looking at X-Men and thinking of Apocalypse and like one of the most powerful people, and kind of thinking of, you know, powerful villains in my mind, but that wouldn't be a good opponent, I suppose, for Deadpool. So maybe even though it wasn't a giant sort of villain role, it was somebody that was a good counter for Deadpool, at least for his first outing. And the other thing that I would say would be the budget, okay? you know, it was definitely Fox Studios taking a risk, and they knew that. This was a movie that had been fought for in tooth and nail, and you know, they finally won and got what us, the fans, wanted. But it got, I believe it was a $30 million budget and a February release. So January, February, even a little bit into March is traditionally the time when the movies come out that the studios don't think are going to do all that well. This came out smack dab in the middle of February. Obviously, here we are in the middle of February. But it smashed all records. It's the #1 R-rated superhero movie. It beat out Blade 2. It beat out Dread. It beat out I think even Constantine. It beat out, I think. It was in the U.S. for the weekend 4-day opening. It was 150 million, and I think it hit 250 worldwide in one weekend, and that's on a $30 million budget. So it did really well considering its budget. There was a couple scenes. The action scenes were like really crisp, really easy to follow, really well choreographed, funny humor throughout them. But you know, the sets, you could tell with this, both the sets and then the CGI were a little bit limited to that budget. And that's understandable. You know, there was some things that they could have done, and the movie knew it. Deadpool actually made reference to a couple things that I was thinking myself, and that's one of the things I like about Deadpool. He says a lot of things that we think, you know, and then there's a filter there. No filter with this guy. You know, those, like I said, a couple things where, you know, I wish it could have been a little bit bigger there, but the movie knew it. And that kind of ties into something that I did like was the meta humor. The fourth wall breaking, the 16th wall breaking, and when you see it, you'll know what I mean. And it just kind of really felt like the character that I know, the fourth wall breaker from the books. It knew Deadpool, it knew he was in a movie, it knew he was in comic books. It also knew Ryan Reynolds' history, and no spoiler there because we know that it made reference to the Green Lantern and Ryan Reynolds' flop in that more than once. It made reference to the X-Men franchise very well, specifically Professor X, and you'll know what I mean when you see the movie. So it knew its limitations and embraced them. And I just love this movie. You could tell Ryan Reynolds loved the character. You could tell how much he really cared for it and wanted to do it right for himself, for the fans this time. And this will definitely get him back on track with, I believe, with his career. Most definitely, they're already talking about a sequel. It will involve, hopefully, X-Force, most definitely Cable. I'm looking forward to seeing who they might pick for that. I saw an interesting picture of Liam Neeson, also referenced in the movie, as well as today I saw one for, and I always forget his name, it's the guy who played the Colonel in Avatar. I can't remember his name, but that guy possibly would be a good Cable as well, but I'm getting ahead of myself. From the moment Deadpool opened, the opening credits were freaking hilarious, awesome choreography. I knew from that moment, just seeing that, shit, I'm gonna love this movie. Right through to the end, and the possibly, if you say, you might see end credits scene, more than one, possibly. I don't know. I'm gonna leave that up to you to wait and find out yourselves. So I'm gonna say this wasn't a perfect movie. I had a couple of faults with it, but again, the movie knew what they were. If I was gonna rate this movie on a 1 to 10 scale, I'm gonna go with a good solid 8 on this movie, 8 out of 10. This isn't gonna be like an all-time classic. I think some of the references maybe will be kind of old in 5 to 10 years. There's like a lot of pop culture references and current superhero movie references. So you'll see what I mean when you see it. So it wasn't a perfect movie. It's not going to be, you know, Academy Award, you know, getting everything, just sweeping the awards shows. but for what it was, for what it wanted to be, for what it should be for this character, it was perfect. So that's where I get my rating. I loved it. I'd like to see it again. I will absolutely be buying it on Blu-ray when that comes out, digital. And you should go see it too. I hope this helped. I hope this gives you a little bit of excitement to go see the movie. And I'm curious what you guys think. If you've already seen it or if you plan on seeing it, let me know down below and we can talk about it. I tried to do this, well, I did this spoiler free. I really want to do another one where it is full of spoilers so I can freaking talk about this movie, because there's so many things I want to tell you guys, but I just can't right now, just because, out of fairness and respect. I don't want to give anything away. So yeah, go see it. Awesome movie.